He had one foot propped on my mooring post, sunglasses on at sunset like he was posing for a cologne ad, and a Bluetooth speaker blasting music loud enough to scare off every fish within a mile radius. I hadn't even tied my boat yet. "Hey," I called from the deck, stepping off with my tackle bag. "You lost." He didn't turn around. "Relax, man," he said casually, like we were old friends. "I told my mom we could use this place Saturday." Use this place. I looked past him. 3 jet skis bobbed near the dock. 2 coolers. A pile of folding chairs. Someone had already dragged my fire pit closer to the shoreline. This wasn't confusion. This was a takeover. "Your mom?" I asked. He finally turned. Early 20s. Entitled smirk. Expensive watch. Zero doubt in his voice. "Yeah, Karen Harwood, HOA president. She said this cabin isn't being used properly and the community has access rights." I actually laughed. Not because it was funny. Because I'd lived here 6 months, and this was the boldest lie anyone had told me yet. "I live here," I said calmly. "So no, you don't." He tilted his head, studying me like I was a slow student. "Look, dude," he said. "We're having about 40 people. You can hang if you want. But don't make it weird. 40 people, at my private lake cabin. On property I paid for outright. Behind a locked gate with posted signage. And he was offering me permission to attend my own property." I set my bag down slowly. "Pack up," I said. "Now." He smirked. "Or what?" I reached into my pocket and pulled out my wallet. Flipped it open. Held it steady. Badge. Credentials. Nameplate. Chief Daniel Reyes. Lakeshore Police Department. The smirk didn't fade instantly. It cracked. Just a little. Then his phone rang. He glanced at the screen and answered with exaggerated confidence. "Mom, yeah, he's here. Some guy says." He stopped. His eyes shifted from me, to the badge, back to the lake. "Yes, Mom." "No, Mom, he says he lives here." "Yes, Mom." A long pause. Then he handed me the phone. "She wants to talk to you." I took it. Chief Reyes speaking. Karen Harwood didn't bother with pleasantries. "You cannot intimidate residents," she snapped. "This community has shared recreational zoning." "No," I interrupted calmly. "It does not." Silence. Then a sharper tone. "This cabin has been vacant for years. The association approved temporary usage for community youth events." I looked around my property. My boat, my tools, my lights, my truck in the driveway. "Ma'am," I said evenly, "you approved access to property you do not own." She inhaled sharply. "You don't understand how things work here." "Oh," I said, "I understand perfectly." I handed the phone back to Dylan. 10 minutes, I told him. "Everything gone." He hesitated, then muttered, "This isn't over." He was right. It wasn't even close. 2 days later, I received an envelope taped to my front gate. Official HOA letterhead. Notice of non-compliance. Violations included: failure to register waterfront usage, unauthorized dock positioning, improper shoreline lighting, refusal to cooperate with community recreation plan, obstruction of approved event space. Penalty: $5,000 initial fine. Daily accrual thereafter. I read it twice. Then I made coffee and called the county clerk's office. By noon, I had certified copies of every relevant document tied to my land. By evening, I understood Karen Harwood's mistake. And it was a big one. The Harwood HOA didn't just lack authority over my cabin. Their entire lakeside expansion, including the public access trail they advertised, partially crossed my parcel. They didn't know, or worse, they assumed no one would check. I didn't respond to the fine. I didn't argue. I waited. Because people like Karen never stop at one move. And I was right. Saturday night arrived loud. Music echoed across the water again. Lights flashed from the opposite shoreline, HOA property. Dozens of cars lined the access road. Dylan's party happened anyway, just not on my dock. But they weren't respecting boundaries. Boats drifted past my markers. People wandered near my boathouse. At 10:42 p.m., dispatch called. "Chief, we're getting multiple noise complaints near Harwood Cove." I looked out the window at the flashing lights across the water. "I'm already on it," I said. I didn't go in uniform. Just a jacket. Badge visible. Presence matters more than volume. The party froze when I walked onto the shared shoreline trail. Music lowered. Whispers spread. Dylan spotted me first. He forced a laugh. Relax, everyone. He just likes attention. I stopped 5 feet from him. You're trespassing, I said calmly. He gestured broadly. This isn't your land. I handed him a folded survey map. Actually, this section is. He blinked. People around us leaned closer. You're standing on parcel 17B, I continued. Privately owned. Unpermitted gathering. Amplified sound violation. Open alcohol without event authorization. The bravado drained from his posture. Behind him, headlights approached. 2 patrol units. I hadn't called them for arrests. I called them for witnesses. Karen arrived moments later in a golf cart, fury radiating off her like heat from asphalt. You cannot shut down a community event, she snapped. I handed her a second document. Certified land registry. Her eyes scanned, stopped, went back. You're mistaken, she said tightly. I pointed behind her, to the trail sign your HOA installed. She turned. The sign stood proudly near the trees. Harwood Community Lakeside Access. Installed directly on my land. Unpermitted, unapproved, legally trespassing. This sign, I said quietly, is evidence. The silence that followed wasn't confusion. It was realization. She had built authority on assumption. And assumption collapses fast when paperwork arrives. 3 weeks later, the hearing took place. County Mediation Chamber. Neutral ground. Karen arrived with an attorney. I arrived with documentation, surveyors, and a county zoning officer who looked thrilled to be there. The findings were straightforward. HOA exceeded jurisdiction. Unauthorized structures placed on private land. Improper fines issued without authority. Public access falsely advertised. Karen's attorney argued misunderstanding. The county officer disagreed. Consequences followed. HOA required to remove installations. All fines voided. Formal apology issued. Legal fees assessed to association. But the moment everyone remembers wasn't the ruling. It was the apology. Karen stood stiffly, reading from prepared text. We regret any inconvenience caused. Her voice faltered slightly. To Chief Reyes. Dylan sat behind her, silent for once. And I realized something important. Power isn't loud, it's documented. A month later, the lake returned to normal. Quiet mornings, calm water, no unauthorized speakers. One evening, I found a new envelope at my gate. No letterhead, just a handwritten note. Sorry about everything. D. Inside was a small metal plaque. Private property. Please respect. I installed it near the dock. Not as a warning, as a reminder. Boundaries matter. Titles matter. And assumptions cost money. So yeah, a deal. Classic HOA overreach meets calm authority. Cinematic payoff. Strong moral punch. If you want, I can also give you